I am in a town called Boone's Mill, Virginia, and I think you can tell why I stopped. Trump Town. There were like dozens of signs for this on the way here. I'm gonna guess these people like Donald Trump. FJB, Faith Over Fear, Rittenhouse is welcome in our house.
The idea that there is a radical left in this country, especially in our political system, is hilarious. Especially when you look at the rest of the world, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first, we really need to think about just how far right the Republican Party has shifted. Just think back 10, 20 years. What were they really focused on? Beyond an illegal war in the Middle East, beyond anti-marriage equality, beyond corporate personhood, beyond taking a big pro-oil stance, beyond denying climate change, beyond attacking healthcare. Okay, yes, they've been extreme for a while, but over the past several years, we've seen an even further shift rightward, embracing conspiracy theories, open calls to violence, turning a blind eye to blatant corruption. And now these attacks on marginalized groups have really upped the ante. And it's horrifying. It's really horrifying to think about because this leads to devastating real-world consequences. The rhetoric espoused by Republican leaders is adopted and embraced by regular people. That leads often to violence. That's very extreme.
And we're not gonna take it anymore. I see a civil war coming. I do. I see civil war coming.
On the left, you have a pretty spineless Democratic Party. It's a miracle that the Inflation Reduction Act got passed. In some people's minds, it is relatively toothless because it does expand drilling capacity before we can even get to any of the climate provisions. And that's good. We should be celebrating, at least in part, climate provisions in this bill because it is a serious existential threat and we need to do something about it. That's really it. What they want to do is take a few progressive people and the rhetoric they espouse, which I agree with, and brand the entire party as such. They want you to think that every single member of the Democratic Party wants democratic socialism. Buddy, I wish.
I am a conservative and this is where I stand. Thank you for your time. I will now be passing this chart off to a Democrat, or as I like to call them, a member of the radical left. Hi, radical left here.
But consider how that rhetoric is described in the media here, and especially by the right wing. It's described as extreme and fringe and radical. And now look at the rest of the world. These things that progressives in Congress are talking about. Medicare for all, an equitable tax structure, protecting marginalized communities from discrimination, reallocating funds that currently go to police departments and investing them in social safety net programs. That's how the rest of the developed world does things. That's all we're asking. That's all we're talking about. None of that is radical. The real radicals are the people who want to maintain the status quo here because, to the rest of the developed world, we're radical. They can't believe that we have to pay for health insurance that then turns around and denies our claims. They can't believe that we have to fight back against attacks on marriage equality still. They have to fight back against attacks against our trans friends. They can't believe the number of people who are killed by police or gun violence in this country. To the rest of the world, we're extreme. We're radical. The only radicals in Congress are the people who want to keep things the way they are, and it's long overdue that more people understand that.